Elon jets off to Germany, Tesla begins sending out invites for its next event, and I have some errata and an addendum from the last show. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 619 for September 2nd, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000 mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. Our first story today comes from Tasmanian reporting on Elon paying a visit to Germany. Firstly, look, there's going to be a gaggle of German names in this story. I apologize in advance for my lack of ability to pronounce said names. Our favorite CEO met with German Economy Minister Peter Altmaier to talk about Giga Berlin. The meeting's purpose wasn't specifically detailed, but following the meeting, Altmaier declared that Tesla would get all the help that could be provided to get the factory built quickly. Quote, "We are very proud of your car plant in Brandenburg, and we wish you good luck with that," end quote. He went on to say, quote, "You'll have every assistance you need," end quote. Altmaier wasn't the only one proud to have the factory. Minister-President of Brandenburg, Dietmar Woidke, had much praise for Giga Berlin as well recently. Quote, "With all the modesty inherent in us Brandenburgers, it is the largest industrial investment in East Germany since 1990. And in the rest of Germany, you can hardly find anything comparable during this period. That's why we can be proud of it. But it still takes hard work to make it a success. That's why we are working on the project with considerable human resources. And I would like to thank my colleagues and the authorities at all levels," end quote. That's a pretty stunning fact right there, that Tesla is making the biggest industrial investment in East Germany in 30 years. It's also very interesting that the German government is cozy with Tesla, considering the automotive behemoths that call Germany home. Giga Shanghai was 12 months almost exactly from first shovel of dirt to production, so let's see if Giga Berlin can beat that feat with the German government's full support behind it. Next up, Teslarati, among many other outlets, reports that the invites for Battery Day have begun to go out. If you were unfamiliar with the process this year, shareholders had to apply to be in a random drawing to be able to attend the annual shareholders meeting that is coupled with Battery Day, scheduled for September 22nd due to COVID precautions, where normally anyone owning a share by the deadline could show up. The event, held this year at Tesla's Fremont factory rather than as usual at the Computer History Museum, is slated to include a tour of Tesla's next-generation battery production line. Many, including myself, are expecting a huge announcement or announcements coming out of this event, so congratulations to anyone getting an invite. If you're hoping to get one yourself, check your email and check your spam folders to make sure you don't miss out. Lastly, a quick addendum and a correction from last show. Thanks to longtime listener and Patreon supporter Kevin Sears for pointing out my egregious omission on my story about Unplugged Performance's miraculous recovery at Pikes Peak. While I did mention that they finished second in the exhibition class about a second behind the leader, I didn't mention that the winner was also a Tesla Model 3. Blake Fuller was the driver in his community-supported stock performance Model 3 with that winning time of 11 minutes 2 seconds. Thanks, Kevin, for the tidbit. My error was in reporting on the speed limit sign recognition last episode. Thanks to a tweet from Green the Only, I noticed that where I'd originally said that AP2 and better owners would get the ability, it would appear that it's only Hardware 3 owners getting the privilege. As always, my apologies for the error. That'll do it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.